Right, today we'll start discussing about how to connect Java with any database. We use JDBC to connect to any database, so we'll see how that works and all that stuff. So sometimes you need to use Selenium to contact your database, and Selenium doesn't contact your database. We'll just assert the values from database with Selenium. We don't need to read anything from database with Selenium. We will read it with Java. Okay. So there are different kinds of databases like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL and all. So today we'll do it with MySQL. You can do it with any other database as well. But you need to have the corresponding JDBC driver for that. Okay. So let us see. So you need to first download and install MySQL database. In this document I have provided you with a link to download MySQL. MySQL is free, so you can just download it. I'm assuming you should have a minimum SQL knowledge to do this task. Even if you don't know it, sit back and relax and observe this class. Later you can go through the SQL stuff. Okay, so once you
JDBC server kuda driver kuda install cheskali
download చేసుకోవాలి. Okay, so first you need to download MySQL database, then you need to download the JDBC driver for MySQL. I gave the links of both. Okay, JDBC, what is this JDBC? Java Database Connectivity. So to connect Java with any database, you need the corresponding driver of that database. Okay, so for MySQL you have a specific driver, for Oracle you have a different driver, for SQL Server you have a different driver and all. Okay, now as we are dealing with MySQL, we have the MySQL driver over here. After that you need to set up some data in your database, like you need to create a table. If you already have a table, you don't need to do this step. Okay, you need to create a table, you need to insert some values into it. Okay, so let us go into MySQL database and see how does it work. Okay, so once you install MySQL database, you need to remember your password while installing. So while installing, it will ask you for a password. Please remember that password. Okay, so once you install it, we'll see the MySQL command line client over here. Just click on that and it will ask you for the password. So the password what you supplied while performing the installation is this password, the same password. Just press enter. You will be returned to the MySQL prompt. Here I will run couple of commands to see whether I have proper data in my database or not. Okay, first we are confirming whether we have the data we need or not. To do that, I will say show databases.
Screen koncham peddagaga.
Okay, you can't actually change anything in this screen. Okay, let me try.
Maximize work kademo kada.
It doesn't work. Okay, so we said show databases and I'm pressing enter. So it will show all the databases in my system. Now I will go to the database I want. I want to work on test database. So I'll say use test and the database is changed. Now I'm in test database. I want to see all the tables in this database. So I will say show tables. So I have got only one table over here. 1 second. Okay, I got only one table over here. I want to see the contents of that table. So to see the contents of the table, I'll just say select star from, my table name is students, as you see here. I'll say students. So I got 3 records in this table, and that table has got 3 columns. Those are ID, name and email. So I got 3 names and 3 emails over here and 3 IDs over here. Okay, if you don't have these, you can generate by the script which I've given in the table, or you need to learn SQL to do this stuff.
మీరు మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టున్నట్టున్నారండి.
Sorry. So this results in 3 columns and 3 rows, where you can see the column names as ID, name and email. So ID have this auto incremented ID 1 to 3, and we have 3 names and 3 email IDs. So we will use this table for our example, and we'll connect to this table, and we'll try to get data from this table. Okay, so to do this, you can use the script which is in the document, or if you already know SQL Server, you can create your own tables. Sorry, any SQL language, if you know, you can create your own table. Okay, right. If you have any doubts in between, please ask me. Right, we'll start our data setup is finished now. We have created a table and we have inserted data in that. So now the program, we'll start writing a Java program, normal Java project, package and class. So we'll start Eclipse. I'm creating a new project. I'll call it Java Database. I'll create a new package. I'll call it package 1. I'll create a new class. I'll call it JDBC1 or whatever. Okay, right. So we don't need these. The first thing you need to do is attach the JDBC driver which you have downloaded for SQL Server to this project. So to do that, you need to go to Java Database, right click it, go to Properties, go to Java Build Path, add external jars, and go to the location where you have stored that MySQL driver, JDBC driver. Select that driver and attach it. Your driver is attached. Now you need to import another Java library to it. So it's called, so how do we import things? We write import java dot sql dot star, and semicolon. Okay, right, we finished the import as well. So we have just added the import.java.sql library, java.sql library to our program. Now the next thing is we need to set couple of variables. So what we need to do is set couple of variables. We will set variables. We are preparing our Java program to connect to database. So we need lot of things. First and foremost is we need a connection. I will call connection con is equal to null. Okay, and I will start my variables. My first variable is an URL. We need to supply URL in later stages, so we'll create the URL. So the URL consists JDBC colon MySQL colon / local host colon 3306 is the port which is used by MySQL. Okay, it could be different from database to database and environment to environment. In your office, while you are installing, it may be a different port number. This will be
Since
given.
This is our local computer. We are
using local host. Okay, this will be supplied by your network administrator. Okay, you should ask them where is the MySQL installed and what port it is installed and all. They will give this stuff. Okay, right. And string database name. So my database name is, what database name we used? Test. Okay, we got list of databases here, but we used test database, use test. So my database name is test. So now we need another variable called as driver. Okay, so this is, don't get confused with the Selenium WebDriver driver. This driver is different one. So if you are using both in combination, change it to some other name. Okay, so the driver for this is com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So this could be different for different databases as well. For Oracle it will be something else, and for SQL Server it will be something else. So now string username. My username is root. If you did not modify any username, your username also will remain root. But the password will be the password whatever you supplied while installing. So the password is password. Okay, we successfully prepared all our variables. Now what do we need to do? So there are a couple of things, a set of things which we need to follow to establish the connection. Okay, so you see these yellow things because we did not use any one of these things. We'll use all of them. So what all we need to create? We'll go back to our document and see. So we finished setting variables. Now we have connection and execution. So we need to create a driver object first. Then we need to establish a connection. Then we need to create a statement. After that we need to create a result set, then print the values and close the connection. So what all we need? We need driver, we need connection, we need statement, we need result set. Four primary things: driver, driver, connection, statement, and result set. So how do we do them? We'll go step by step. We'll first take a try catch block so that if there is any exception, it will throw the exception. Exception will be handled. Sorry. So you know this try catch block, we did these try catch blocks in data driven framework. Okay. First thing what we need? Object. Create an object of, create driver object. To create driver object, we need to write this statement: class dot for name, and give our driver object, supply our driver to it, dot new instance. Now our driver is created. So we'll establish a connection. So we will connect to database. How to connect? con is equal to, where is this con coming from? We already said connection con. So this is our connection object. We are connecting to driver manager dot get connection. We have to supply URL plus our database name. What is our database name? DB name. So what is our database name? We stored test over here. So I just added database name, and we have to give username and password. So username comma password to it. We already stored username and password to it. So username and password are used over here. We also created connection now. After connection, we need to create a statement. I told you, right? We need 4 things. So statement. How do we get a statement? We have to use statement interface and whatever name you want to give. Statement is equal to connection dot create statement. So you already have your connection. With connection, we are creating a statement. Okay. So first we have driver. Using driver, we made a connection. Using connection, we just created a statement.
The first we have created the driver means we have created an instance of a driver.
Driver, exactly. Dot new instance is an object of a driver. Okay. We are just supplying that to this connection. Okay. Now we created a statement. So using this statement, we'll create a result set. Result set is nothing but a group of rows.
The results of an space.
Yeah, results of it. Okay. So how to create a result set? There's another interface called result set. If you see Java docs, you will see all these things. Result set, I will call it result set, is equal to statement dot execute query, and you have to give your query, whatever it is. Our query is select star from, what is our table name? Students.
So here we don't need any qualifiers, right?
What qualifiers you were talking about?
So since my database is a test, so you don't need to that test dot students or
No, you don't need. Okay, you don't need any qualifier because we already moved to that database. Here we already mentioned it in driver connection. Okay, URL plus DB name. So it will get the connection using this database, using this password, username and this password. So it already knows that we are in test database, and it will pick up students tables from here, and the result set will be populated over here. Okay, now how do we print it? So first thing, now the cursor position will be somewhere on top of the table. It will be here. I need to move to the first record to print the first record. So there is a command called resultset dot next. Now the cursor position will be moved from this position to number 1 position, and it will print this record. How do we print the record? We can print column by column. So we'll print name from this. How do I do that? System.out.println result set dot get string. And column index. Which column is it? Name is second column, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. Name is second column. You can even supply the name as well, column name, but I will prefer giving a number. Now if I run this program, it displayed Kiran over here. That is this one. Okay, so if I want to print the entire row, how we will do that? Result set get string 1, concatenate it. You know, right? We did lots of concatenation things. Plus copy this stuff. So we have 1, 2, and we need one more of this. Two, and this is 3. So first column, second column, third column. We are just concatenating it. When I run this, it will print 1 Kiran wonderful@gmail.com. Okay, we just access the data from the database, but we need the entire table, isn't it? We don't need the single one. I need the entire table to be printed. What do? I will comment this and I'll go for a loop. I'll take a while loop this time. I'll write while result set dot next. That means do while result set has got next record. If there are no records, stop it. If it has a next record, just do it. What to do? I'll just take the same thing, same print statement, and print it. I'll run as Java application. So I got all the records, whatever records I have, I got all the records here. Okay, so here we will add a finally block. So what is finally block? Finally block is after everything is finished, this block will execute.
Will execute compulsory.
Compulsory, yeah. So in this I will close my connection after everything is done. Connection dot close.
So it's always used to close anything, right?
Yeah, if you open it, you need to close. If you have too many things open, then you'll have trouble. So it throws an SQL exception. So take that. That's fine.
So if there is any exception, so will
you can handle that exception
finally
here.
block will execute?
Yes. After anything, finally block will definitely execute. If there is an exception, still it closes the database. Anything.
What and all we can use it in finally. Now it is for database closing. So
it depends on the scenario. Whatever you want, you can use. It definitely, you know that it definitely executes. So if you want something to be executed, definitely you put in finally. Okay. So the next thing, what all we saw until now. So we created a driver, we established a connection, we created a statement, we created a result set, and we printed values, and we closed the connection. Any doubts in these things? Right. Now
if you want to update it, so we just have to send values from the console.
You won't update it for Selenium testing. You won't update it. You won't touch the database at all. You will only read values and assert it with the Selenium statements. You will take something from the website, for example, the title and the value from the database, and see whether both are same or not. If you do, most probably you won't do that as well, because you are using the data driven. Your data is coming from Excel sheet. You won't touch the database at all. But because you need this, you asked about this database connection, I'm taking this. So in situation, if in interview, if you need this, you can go through this stuff. There is one more thing where we handle it a bit differently. We'll go through that. That is called as prepared statement. Prepared statement. So what is prepared statement? Sometimes there are situations where you have to give conditions in queries, like select star from students, where select star from students where name is equal to Kiran. but you cannot give it like this over here. So we'll take prepared student, prepared statement for this. So for a while I will comment out this as well. Prepared statement. So to write prepared statement, you again need to use another interface, prepared statement, and give whatever name you want. Is equal to connection dot. Here earlier we created a statement, now we'll prepare a statement directly. Okay, how do we prepare a statement? Connection dot prepare statement, and we'll supply the query over here. So what is our query? Select star from students where name is equal to, you can't really give name over here, that's why we'll give a question mark over here. Okay, later what you do is you use this statement and say dot set string. Okay, and here you'll give the parameter index as 1 and the value as Kiran. So now what is happening is this question mark will be replaced by this Kiran. The first parameter, whatever parameter it needs, it will be replaced by the value you supply over here. Okay, just as your parameterization and other stuff, this parameter will go and sit in place of this question mark. Okay, yeah, after that we'll use the same logic. After that we have to pass this statement to the result set as you did earlier. So I'm disabling this result set as well. So now I'll say result set is equal to prepared statement dot execute query. So now I have my result set as well. Now we need to print it. How to print it? Same logic. Now what will be the output? We will only get whatever we asked. Now you can change here, like if you go and change, instead of Kiran, if you say Bill, and run the program, you'll get the result of Bill. We'll try and insert one more record into the MySQL database, and we'll try to insert another Bill with another email ID. There may be Bill Clinton and Bill Gates, isn't it? So we'll try to insert another Bill, and we'll try a new one. Okay, so to insert, you need insert statement. So this is the insert statement. I'm inserting into database, so I'll change the, I'll say Bill Gates over here. I'll say Bill Gates. I'll mention Bill Gates over here. Oh, sorry, I'll mention Bill over here. Okay, and I'll insert the record. Record is inserted. Now if I say select star from students, I have 4 records with 2 bills. I want only the bills with Bill Gates as the email ID. So in our program we need one more query, isn't it? So how do we do that? And email is equal to another question mark. Okay, so here we'll write one more prepared statement. We'll write one more prepared statement with parameter as 2 and email ID as billgates@gmail.com.
So that the parameter number you said, that is
yes. This is first parameter.
Okay.
This is second parameter.
That is second.
Okay, you can give as many parameters as you like. So if you run this, now I got billgates@gmail.com. So wherever you want to use parameters, you can use freely and use this statement. That's all. Okay, that's the end of the database connection. Any doubts?